Aries, if there's one thing that you take away from this November reading, it's that you have so much potential to transform your life in profound ways. But it is going to require that you go there, that you really face your inner demons, that you face the things that scare you, and maybe even things that you've been avoiding. It will be very empowering and actually freeing for you. I'm really looking at the astrology when I say this, but also tuning into your energy. I feel like this is an intensely spiritual time. It's very profound, and you are finding a part of yourself that you didn't even know was there. If you're looking forward to this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. And I actually do have a little favor to ask before we dive into today's reading. As many of you have noticed, I am now going by a different name. I'm now using Serafino Esoterica across all of my social media. Part of the inspiration for this new name is that I'm really excited to branch out and kind of broaden more than just tarot and astrology videos. I love doing these readings for all of you. It's really such a gift. And I also really want to talk about some other things. So if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover, definitely feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message, especially on Instagram. That's probably one of the best ways to get a hold of me. You can actually find all of my links for my social media accounts and my website in the description of this video. I will never reach out to you to solicit my services. Anyone who does this is just a fake account, so you can report and block them. And I just really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel and to me over these years. It really is a gift to do this work, and I'm so excited to continue putting out information and readings for all of you. Before we dive into this reading, I just want to give my quick reminder that these are general messages, meaning not every message in this reading is going to be resonant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. Some of these energies could also be coming in the reverse, so another person's energy might actually be your own energy, or vice versa. I do also encourage that you take a look at the videos for your moon or rising sign, especially if this one doesn't resonate. There may be some messages for you there as well. And I'm really, really excited to dive in. As I actually was connecting with your energy, Aries, I did pull a couple of cards in advance. I got the camel and the oyster. And right away, the thing I really thought of with both of these cards, they have this source inside of them. The camel has the water inside of its hump as it traverses through the desert, as it goes through some sort of journey or pilgrimage. And the oyster has a pearl inside of it, something that just starts as a grain of sand but then grows as time goes on. And I really feel like there is this light, there is this gift that you have inside of you, Aries, that you are supposed to be sharing with the world. And that's going to become very obvious to you in the month of November. Or at least you are somewhere in this journey of developing or honing your skills and gifts. Some of you could even be thinking about going back to school or getting a certification, particularly as we get into the end of the month and more into Sagittarius season. These themes could really be coming up for you. But for the most part, I feel like this November is a very transformative and deep month. There's a lot of things going on beneath the surface, particularly in Scorpio season. We do also have Saturn moving direct in the sign of Pisces, which represents your subconscious mind, your spirituality, your intuition. And Saturn moving direct in Pisces means that it is moving forward. It's been moving backwards in retrograde motion for several months now. And it feels like there are a lot of spiritual lessons that are coming up for you. And you might be becoming aware of your own blockages or habits or patterns that are dysfunctional to you. Those potentially could be some things that are coming up. But I really feel like there is this beautiful turning point where you are coming into your spirituality more. We actually do have the King of Cups coming in with the Three of Pentacles. And the King of Cups is actually in reverse. And I actually want to say that this King of Cups energy is your own energy, especially since we are in Scorpio season, which is what this card signifies. I feel like something you've been learning about is that you can't do everything alone. It's important that you are working together with other people with this Three of Pentacles. Maybe there have been other people who have needed your support in some way as well, especially a water sign. I feel like some of you have been going through some sort of initiation or training already. My apologies, there's a bunch of cards flying out here. Too many messages at once. I feel like you've been gaining skills or trying to build your own confidence. Or I don't even want to call it confidence. It's like really getting a sense of who you are. And I feel like with the Nine of Wands in reverse, a lot of you have been healing yourself. You've been in a state of burnout. And it's like, maybe you're learning to not always be the one who has to offer something. Maybe you're learning that sometimes it's okay to just be present or to even, receive from other people. Tell me more about this Nine of Wands in reverse. King of Pentacles upright. I feel like there is something in your life where you didn't actually have stability, even though something was traditional or it should have been secure or stable. And you've learned what real stability looks like. It doesn't look like burning yourself out or breaking yourself down or reducing yourself to fit in a role that isn't really meant for you. Maybe your heart wasn't in something with the King of Cups in reverse. Maybe you felt like you were useful to people or useful to a situation and that's why you stayed in it. But I feel like there's been some sort of burnout. And I do feel like some of you need to go on a retreat this month or in December. Really reconnect with your spirituality. Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I really do feel like some of you, again, there is the potential for stability and security. Part of me wants to ask you at what cost, but also, like, I don't actually think it's where you are necessarily. Let me clarify this Ten of Pentacles. What does this represent? Wow, again, all of the cards are just spilling out. I feel like there's just a lot falling apart. Maybe things feel like a house of cards where it's like you're trying to maintain things or keep things afloat. Okay, let's try that again. Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Show us clearly, please. Show us clearly, please. Interesting. The Two of Cups is coming out here. I feel like there is something with two people coming together or two groups coming together, two parties. There's something about seeing something eye to eye, coming together, maybe even sharing resources. That's actually really appropriate with Scorpio energy for you because that rules over your astrological 8th house of investments, whether that is energetic or literally financial investments. Can also be sexuality, intimacy, transformation. It's the part of ourselves that we don't really share with everybody. We don't always talk about what's in our bank account. We don't always talk about what's going on in our bedroom. That's really how I think of the 8th house. It's the things that we are told could be taboo to talk about, but I really do feel like there is this communion, there is this coming together, and it feels like there is a very strong and stable connection or relationship that is forming for some of you. So that's, I think, maybe a blessing coming this month. I feel like there is something really beautiful happening in a relationship or like building a really strong foundation for yourself and maybe others or another person. Even if that isn't romantic, that could represent like some sort of contract or partnership, or even a really good friend. Wow, yeah, we have the Four of Wands. I do feel like there is something that you are celebrating. Maybe bringing a relationship to the next level. Or some sort of achievement or accomplishment. Tell me more about this Four of Wands. Four of Wands with the Hermit. Interesting. I really feel like what I'm actually getting here, Aries, there are other people or there's something that's happening that's really making you recognize your own gifts or what it is that you have to offer uniquely, right? I feel like you kind of need, there's almost like this really vulnerable moment where it's like you're asking the people that you care about, what are my gifts? Like, what are the things that you love about me or like about me? Because I feel like there's something here where it's like, you do want to feel useful and valuable, but it's like you're doubting yourself for some reason, or you don't know. You don't know what your gifts are, or you're doubting your gifts. But I feel like there's something very encouraging that is happening for you here. Maybe this Hermit even represents some sort of guide or figure. Maybe there's some meditation that's happening here as well. Okay. We have Justice with the World. Very, very interesting. Looking at the bottom of the deck here, we do actually have the Five of Pentacles as well. Or I'm sorry, the Five of Cups. I'm just noticing this. I feel like some of you really are just like very hard on yourself or in this really emotional place. And it's weird because I feel like on the surface, people could look at you and say you're doing really well. Like, I feel like maybe there is something going on in your mental health that is challenging for you. That makes sense with Saturn moving forward in the sign of Pisces again. It's just kind of a period where there's like spiritual lessons. There are mental health lessons. There's a lot that's going on beneath the surface. And I think you need to talk about some things. You need to open up. You need to share things, even if that scares you or makes you feel vulnerable with this oyster. I feel like some of you are clamming up. Justice and the World. This is an interesting combination. I want to clarify this, actually. Why is Justice in the World here? Interesting. Five of Cups again. Five of Cups with Judgment. I mean, Judgment and the World together feels like a really big spiritual calling. It feels like there may be things coming back from the past. There is some sort of review before you embark on something new. I feel like Justice is actually making some sort of assessment. What am I going to bring in my new chapter or in this next phase of my life? And what am I going to leave behind? I definitely feel like there's a lot of assessment here. And honestly, for some reason, when I saw the World and Justice, I felt like you could be carrying the weight of the world and maybe all of the things that are happening in the world. Obviously, this is a really, really challenging time. Um, I'm even seeing like something really specific, so I don't expect this will resonate for all of you, but it's like there's something this month or maybe already that you've recognized about like the past few years and like everything that's happened basically since the pandemic, where it's like you're recognizing just how different the world feels and just how much everything has affected you. Especially with like the Five of Cups here. I want to pull an oracle card because I feel like there's a lot of really big energy here for you, Aries, for the future, with Judgment, the World, Justice, a lot of major arcana, and like the World and Judgment are the last two cards in the deck, and so it feels like there really is something that is coming to a close and something that is opening up, but it's like I feel like there's a lot of cutting loose ends, especially being in Scorpio season. There's a lot of releasing that you are doing. And maybe you're kind of sad about some of the things that you have to let go, even though you know that it's the right decision that you need to make. I feel like some of you, it's like kind of cutting your losses as well. Some of you could be cutting your losses. Interesting. A new start is coming with the new moon. We definitely do have a new energy, a new cycle. And we also have the new moon in Aquarius specifically. So this could actually be talking about next year, early next year, with the new moon in Aquarius. I believe that's either January or February. I don't know off the top of my head, but if you Google new moon in Aquarius 2024, it should tell you. I feel like this is really signifying a turning point at this time. And the new moon Aquarius, the message here is bring love into the situation. And when we talk about love, we're talking about a higher love, like a philanthropic love, your love of humanity. Not just the romantic love, but the love that you share with the world. I do feel like some of you are coming or going through, I should say, a dark night of the soul. I just kind of see that with the camel and the oyster, and it's really weird because I feel like on the surface, people might not see it. I feel like people see you as very capable, but you're feeling really depleted, really burnt out, and you're kind of just moving through life to not be an inconvenience to others is what I'm really getting, which is sad. The energy feels really sad, but I don't even know how many people are aware of it, Aries. I do feel like there is some major electrifying change that is coming. I really, really do. It's just like sometimes I think of energy like the ocean or the coast, more specifically, where it's like right before a big wave, a lot of stuff comes in. We feel this retreating, the water kind of pulling back. We can see this movement. And it feels like some of you are in that period of like the energy is sort of withdrawing, something is pulling back, something is waning before something really comes in full force. And I feel like you know it's coming. You know there's a big change coming. But it's like it still feels emotional. You know, and you're entitled to that. Like you can know or believe like there is something coming, there is something better, and still feel the sadness. I feel like you're holding space for a lot of different emotions in yourself. Maybe for other people too, but I feel like, especially in yourself, it's like there's just a lot going on. What else do we have for Aries? Show us clearly, please. Balsamic moon, a time for healing. And it's interesting because the balsamic moon is literally the moon right before it is new again. It is waning, and it's like part of that releasing, part of that letting go. And it really is this energy, Aries. It's like you are letting go of things, you're tying up loose ends, you're maybe even cutting some losses in some way. You're doing what you need to do in order to kind of weed the garden so you can let new things grow, let new things take form. And I feel like there's just a lot of emotions. I'm really feeling like tears. I feel like it's a really good month to cry. Yeah, I feel like there's some big emotional stuff. And it's like, I said right at the beginning of your reading, you know, there is the potential for a profound transformation, but you have to be willing to go there. You have to be willing to let things go. That is how we transform in the scorpionic energy. And your ruling planet Mars is in the sign of Scorpio. And we actually have the new moon in Scorpio on the 13th of November, which is very closely connecting with Mars. And then the sun connects with Mars on the 18th. And it's like really taking action in your transformation, like playing an active role, making decisions, deciding what can stay and what must go. And that can feel really hard, but then I feel as we get more into Sagittarius season at the end of November, there's some things opening up. I do also feel like you'll have some clarity with the full moon in Gemini on the 27th. And I think your energy actually will probably start increasing around the 17th, actually, when you have the sun and Mars coming together. I feel like there's going to be some big revelations around this time as well. That actually might be what Judgment and the World represents. There's like a big truth that is being dropped. There's a lot that is being exposed, and you're kind of figuring out how to react to that with justice. Are there any other messages for Aries? What are the blessings coming for Aries? We have the Queen of Cups. You are very intuitive, very psychic this month. That might also be why you are more sensitive and maybe more emotional. You could be picking up on other people's energy as well. Tell me more about the blessings for Aries this month. Show us clearly, please. I also do feel like with Saturn moving forward in Pisces again, even though it's hard and it's like spiritual lessons and it feels like, why are all of these things against me? There is a gift in that. There's something spiritual, something very deep that comes from that. And when I look at the camel, it's like, you actually can move through this. It is not beyond your capabilities to move through this desert, to move through this challenging time. You have what you need within you, and it's important when you find that oasis that you really fully drink from it, and you really let yourself be nourished by the things that are repleting to you. What are the other blessings? We have the Ace of Cups. I actually did wonder if this Queen of Cups was representing a relationship or love. I really do feel like there is a supportive relationship that you are able to lean on. Maybe with a water sign, especially Cancer. Could also be Pisces or Scorpio. I could see Virgo energy here as well with the Hermit. I mean, honestly, we have a lot of different energies on the field here, but there's a very strong water energy. Any other blessings for Aries? Any other blessings for Aries? Show us clearly, please. We do have the Three of Cups, so maybe you are getting support from a group of people. Okay? Maybe there is spiritual support or a spiritual community, or just supportive people who care about you. I really feel like the love is here. And that's why this is so interesting, because it's like, I feel like there's something going on inside of you, Aries, where it's like, you actually do have some people available to you, but it's like there's something going on. There's this disconnect inside of you that's making it feel like it's hard to actually connect with other people. And part of that is you being open and needing to have emotionally vulnerable conversations, especially with the oyster. I feel like a lot of you are hesitant to do that. But I feel like there really is a lot of blessings coming in the form of relationships for you this month, which is very, very interesting. Um, any other messages for Aries? I think I'm going to pull a color healing card for you. What is the healing frequency for Aries? I'm going to read this straight from the book, but you're welcome to use these colors in whatever way feels right for you. Trust your intuition. We have Auburn, which is ground yourself. And again, I do feel like it's important that you spend some time in nature. And this is actually master number 11. Which is interesting because you did have number 11 with justice as well. I feel like a lot of you could be seeing 1111, or that could just be a sign of profound new beginnings and synchronicities. Pay attention to those angel numbers this month, and like what you're thinking when you notice them. But anyways, Auburn is a fantastic color for grounding yourself and providing access to universal intelligence. Regeneration, increased concentration, and a higher level of patience, stability, and practicality are all among Auburn's gifts. Ground yourself in the now with Auburn rays of light. Imagine that your feet are magnetized to the earth and its rich, deep colors. Place your bare feet on the ground outside, breathe deeply, and feel the energy and healing power of the earth. Visualize Auburn rays moving through your body and into the earth. Feel how the rays ground you in the present moment. Enjoy the feeling of connectedness, allowing Auburn to regenerate your body. Say, Divine Spirit, connect me to your infinite power and intelligence. Allow me to walk my true path of wisdom, peace, and joy. And I mean, you can replace Divine Spirit with Source, God, angels, ancestors, guides, whoever, maybe even ancestors given this time of year. But I really do feel like with Auburn, there is this thing with connecting to nature. And it's actually really funny because I was looking more at the trees. And if you're in the northern hemisphere like I am and it's getting too cold to be barefoot outside, you can also ground yourself by touching a tree. Trees are grounded, they're rooted, and you can still get the energy of the earth. Quite literally, you get the negative ions from the earth, which ironically are the ions that keep us calm. And we're getting flushed with positive ions because of our technology and, you know, just the stress we are under and being disconnected from the earth. We're not properly grounded. And so anything that is grounding, quite literally or energetically or symbolically, is going to be really important for you this month, Aries. And I think it really is just helping you get through it, helping you find this energy, and really finding people to help ground you as well. That feels very important. And again, I do feel like some of you are traveling. Maybe you're going out in nature or spending a weekend on a retreat or something that's very close to nature. That will be very healing to you as well. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Aries. I do hope that this was helpful. I hope it wasn't too scary or too intimidating. If it was, it's honestly probably not your reading. This is more for people who are like, yeah, I am going through this. This is making sense. And hopefully we have some tools to work with this energy. And you have people you can connect with, maybe even connect down in the comments below. Anyways, Aries, I will see you all in the next video. You can find all of my links in the description box for personal readings or distance Reiki sessions. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe as well. I do appreciate that. It helps me continue putting out these messages for all of you, and especially if you've made it this far, it would be really wonderful. And I will see you all next time. I'm sending you lots of beautiful energy. Take care, Aries.